Hey everybody, it's Jandel Crutchfield, your public education trustee, and I'm so excited today to be able to talk to a candidate for the Tarrant Appraisal District. He is already a trustee in H-E-B. His name is Fred Campos. And so our community at our last board meeting shared their concerns about who we as a school board will be voting to support for the Tarrant Appraisal District and the Central Appraisal District. And so I thought it'd be a great idea to let everyone hear from the candidates themselves about one central question. What do you think the role is of the Tarrant Appraisal District in supporting public education? How do you see that happening? And so I'm going to let Fred Campos tell you a little bit about himself and to answer that question for us. So, Fred, thank you for being here and take it away.
So thank you very much for that introduction. Fellow trustees and community, I am with H-E-B ISD. I've been a school board trustee for 9 years. And like you, I'm very kid-centric. I'm very pro-ed education. And I just want to give a shout out for all of the thankless jobs you do for kids. So as a trustee, obviously I know school finance. And 9 years ago, one of my first tasks when I was elected to H-E-B board was to go monitor the TAD, the Tarrant County Appraisal District, because entities like Mansfield and H-E-B get to vote on those folks every 2 years. It's changed a little bit, but that's the way it was. So I was actually attending a lot of the TAD meetings and watching things go. And then there were elections coming up every 2 years. And I was interviewing candidates very much like you guys and getting involved. But the crux of this really happened this past year because, as you know, in public ed, financing changes, and TAD was debating and passed something that would have kept a property value, especially residential, from being appraised every year. And it had an unintended consequence in affecting the school boards and trustees and financing. And so, first thing is we need to elect somebody who is a trustee onto that board to help
Yeah.
educate our fellow TAD board members. And originally I was thinking this was below the line, but I've done some research and actually in rural counties, this is very, very common. So it's not something that's been common in Tarrant County, but it's something that obviously is now common. So what I want to bring to the board is they need to have this the perspective of how changes can and does affect school financing. And it's at a time when public education is being squeezed with vouchers and everything else. So the last thing we need is to be squeezed from our property values areas. Now, these are good folks and good people, and I think they do things with unintended consequences. So, with somebody with a background of school finance, been on the board for 9 years, understand that can help educate and hopefully steer the ship so that we don't affect public ed by any means, and different things that you do. Now, obviously, I have the taxpayers in mind. There's got to be a happy medium in things, and we got to check things out. And yes, the Tarrant County Appraisal Board's main goal is to appraise values, not to get involved a little politically, but we can work through that. But yes, definitely have public ed in mind. Definitely want to support entities like yourself, as well as our entities and all the other districts here in H-E-B or here in Tarrant County. And I think I bring the knowledge of that and a good workability since I've already been working and know a lot of these folks because I've been monitoring it. So definitely would love to have your vote and definitely want to support public ed. Fred Campos for TAD.
Yeah, and so I think you are also you have videos where people can learn more about just your thinking about TAG and kind of where the votes currently stand and things like that. So I think you have been doing your due diligence to reach out to entities to share more about yourself as well. So where can people find out more about you and other things?
So I appreciate that. They can go to fredcampos.com/TAD, TAD. And
Mhm.
I have been doing a video once a week, and I have been talking with other finance directors of ISDs to think the impact, because the impact of what this could have is really big for, say, Fort Worth ISD,
Yeah.
and a little bit smaller for both Mansfield and H-E-B. But yes, not just doing this, trying to learn what I can, and I have committed to give a weekly update on these videos, which we will after the election. If you guys elect me, I'll flip over to YouTube. But yes, check that out, and I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Fred Campos. Hopefully, community, you guys are able to learn more and you know where to find out more if you need to. All right.